I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay. Moving on to item 4M. Consideration and action not to order an election for the City of Floresville council members in the general election on November 5th, 2019.
Make a motion.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any citizens' comments pertaining to this?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Councilman. My name is Claudia Garza, and you guys just came out of executive session. So, what is the second item here in reference to?
Are you talking about item F?
Oh, yes, yes.
Item F. I will go ahead and let Councilman Jimenez explain that.
That's not to order an election.
Okay. So,
There would be no election if this council.
is that pretty much set in stone?
Yes.
Until
Until it's a final vote.
until it's a final vote.
Okay. I guess there's nothing more we can do right now. Just the City of Floresville should have some say so, the citizenship, and
Mayor, responsible?
No. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Final vote 5-0. Councilman Jimenez, I know you wanted to go on to item E.
Yes, make a motion to table that.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Jimenez. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded to table. Any other citizens' comments pertaining to this? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. 5-0. Thank you. Going back up to item 1A, our proposed fiscal year 2019-20 operating budget, our public hearing.
Mayor and City Council, this is a public hearing for the fiscal year 2019-2020. That is a requirement for us to do. Our proposed City Council budget is online and has been since, I believe, June 26th. This is a portion that you have in right now to make public comment about the budget year. You may take those comments at this time.
I will open the floor to any citizens' comments pertaining to our 2019-2020 budget for the City of Floresville. Any council comments? If not, that will conclude our public hearing on the 2019-2020 budget. Moving on to item 1B, our first hearing on the 2019 proposed property tax rate for the City of Floresville.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we move on, can I pass out the calendar for the budget as well as the next budget meeting documents? Can I pass it out at this time?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The proposed budget, we have here for you, and there were some papers on the back table if you would like to do so. This is what appeared in the Wilson County News. That is a requirement for us to have a public hearing. We will have to have another public hearing on the tax rate. Staff is proposing the effective tax rate. Your effective tax rate that we are proposing is 0.4440. Last year's rate was 0.4431. The effective tax rate is 0.4440, and the rollback rate is 43.93. So we're recommending the effective tax rate to adopt that rate. You also have your tax note revenue increase. And so the increase of a tax rate of 0.4440 will have an increase of $55,518.
Any comments or questions from council?
No.
Any citizens' comments pertaining to our proposed tax rate?
Dolores speaking. I live at 1305 East Street. I'm concerned because I want to know if we need money more, where is it coming from? Our taxes? Yes? No? Because the need for all of us is there. And we want to know if you're going to get more money out of us, where are you going to use it? The streets, all these extra things that you all think of? More of money probably for the workers, or who is it going to? Any answers? Why is everybody so quiet? I don't understand it. Nobody has answers? Give me a break. I'm a Mexican. I've been here all my life, and I'd like to see some answers. Thank you. Huh? How about it? Nada? They can nada nos yoga?
We can't respond at that point, but what I encourage the council to do is to take information and study it, and if we need to take further action, we will.
Well, I'm concerned because, like I said, I worked for the school all those years, and I know many people that have been in dear need, sick, elderly, handicapped, and I know their needs. I'm going to their houses. There's no question in my mind, I know some of those people. So you have to think it in your mind and in your heart to think of what, if you're able to cancel or lower some of this stuff, is worth it. Because, hey, the people are still there whether we like it or not.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments pertaining to the proposed tax rate? If not, that will conclude our first hearing on the 2019 proposed property tax rate. Moving on to old business, council. Members, you have in your packets the minutes of the regular council meeting on July the 11th, 2019. I hope that you had a chance to go over them.
I move to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting on July the 11th.
Any questions or comments by other council members before I entertain a motion?
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second, seconded by Mr. Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item 2B, consideration action to approve the minute meetings for the special council meeting on July the 17th.
I move to approve the minutes for the special council meeting on July the 17th.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I second. Seconded by Mrs. Martinez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to presentation and discussion, our spectrum update. I'm going to turn this over to our city attorney.
Madam Mayor and council members, if I may, I have been basically playing phone tag, unfortunately, with Mr. King. Mr. King is the attorney for Spectrum. Last time he and I talked about, we briefly discussed an amount, but there are terms and agreements that we have not been able to totally settle. So before we reach the agreement as to any amount, that will come before the council, Mayor. But hopefully he and I can touch base before the end of the week. I know we were supposed to touch base last week, and it was on and off, and him telling me today's a good day, and waiting, and he didn't get through to me, and then I tried him, and it just didn't happen. But I sent him an email earlier this week, so hopefully we'll be able to get it done soon, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving on to item 3D, the city manager's report, including the bids for street maintenance project update.
Yes, Mayor and Council, you have in your packet just a brief section of that bid specifications, but I want to give you an overview. The bids were made available July 18th, 2019. We're going to schedule to open them August 12th of 2019 at 2 o'clock here in our City Council chambers. They'll be read openly, and then the engineer will review that and make the recommendation presented to you at our next City Council meeting, which is August 22nd, for your approval and hopefully awarded. In your section, if you look at, I think it's on page 3 almost, They talk about they're doing complete street reconstruction for D Street between 5th Street and 10th, G Street between 3rd and 5th, and Plum Street between 4th and 10th Street. Those are the 3 streets that council wanted. Those are 3 streets that we bid for total reconstruction, and then that'll come before you at your next city council meeting.
Any questions for Mrs. Turner? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item C, our municipal court quarterly report. We have Judge Jimenez here.
Council, Mayor, and Judge Jimenez. And we've got our quarterly report right here. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, April the 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2019. This is the current one. Total fees and fines paid, $59,548.97.
Judge, can I stop you for just a second? Can you move back a little bit from the microphone? It's real
loud.
sensitive. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead.
$59,548.97. Total remitted to the state was $22,338.54. The total collected was $81,887.51. From January the 1st, 2019 to March 31st of 2019, that was the last quarter, we had total fees and fines paid $76,437.85. The total remitted to the state was $18,387.52 for a total of $94,825.37. April the 1st, 2018 to June the 30th of 2018, total fees and fines paid was $60,797.10. Total remitted to the state was $16,778.40. Total collected was $77,575.50. Now we're going to go to the warrants. The number of warrants, April 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2019, 133 number of warrants. Payments was $25,275.40. Non-cash was $17,625.70. And non-cash is community service, jail time, indigency, and dismissed due to lack of evidence. January the 1st of 2019 to March 31st of 2019, we had the number of warrants was 137. Payments were $25,878.75. Non-cash was $20,630.40. Now, April the 1st of 2018 to June the 30th of 2018, we had only collected 19 warrants. The payments were $3,857.50. Non-cash was $1,750 even, for a total of $56,07.50. And that is the report.
I know you mentioned it, but can you give us an update on the warrant roundups that you've been having, and
Okay.
what's the status of that?
Okay. We had two big ones and a little one from April the 1st to June the 30th. It was 133 warrants. You want the total money too?
Yes.
$25,275.40. Non-cash was $17,625.70 for a total of $42,901.10.
Could you also tell us where these funds go to?
Okay. It's $3 for every citation that we issue. We make $3. The state makes $30. So that's where most of the money goes to the state. The city gets very little, and it goes into the city funds.
Okay. Any other questions for the judge?
I have a question.
Yes.
Before this roundup, the first roundup for the warrants, there was an outstanding balance of over around $1/3 of a million, over $300,000 and some cents.
In warrants?
Yes, in funds,
I don't recall that much money.
I do. You recall that?
No, not off the top of my head, Councilman, I don't. But if I may, I know that our warrant roundups, I believe, Judge, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were a big success.
Right.
I think that they were very, very well organized, and we were able to capitalize on that. My understanding is, in speaking with Ms. Turner and with yourself, Judge, that it is the city's intention to hold some more warrant roundups.
Absolutely.
We're going to do that. I really like the way that it was done. I know that warrants were even issued and they were basically taken up to San Antonio and served in San Antonio. What was really, really good was that the court staff divided them and basically put them according to their zip code. So that made it really, really easier for the police officers to do that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Judge, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that every quarter the money has increased.
Yes, it does.
Okay. But I also understand that the court is under an obligation basically to also listen if there is any individual that's indigent, that the court needs to take indigency into consideration. And sometimes the court has given even credit for jail time as well, if someone has been placed in jail. So I think that might be, Councilman Ortiz, for some of the money.
Yeah, but back then,
totally
when we had that server failure,
Right.
we had to input all that information back into the new server, and, so that had us at a whole, for about a year and a half, I think it was, putting in all that information again into the server because they only had a 2-week holdover on the information. Chile did. So when we lost the server, 2 weeks is not enough to, put all that information in.
And then if I may just real quickly, Madam Mayor and council members, as well, when I took office or when I came in, there was boxes and boxes of cases that were there.
Yes.
Unfortunately, after reviewing a huge amount of them, they were lacking a whole bunch of stuff. Lots of them didn't have any complaints, and by law, you have to have a complaint, it has to be signed and notarized within 2 years. So there was a lot of them that didn't even have that to begin with. Looked at some other ones that didn't have police reports and just some stuff that were lacking on them. That there was, yes, that there was just no way that those could be successfully collected. But whatever we did find, those we did pull, and we're still trying to collect on those. But some of them were even when, I remember doing one that was even when Chief Herrera was a patrol officer.
2008, 2005.
So that were still there, that we were still looking at. And some of them were wet, moldy, that there was information that you couldn't even decipher. But that's where I think that maybe some of those were at, I don't know.
It's okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I wanted to thank Ms. Rodriguez because she's doing an outstanding job with the
Thank you, ma'am.
police.
Thank you.
Yeah, even though we don't have a roundup, we're still sending out letters, warrant letters and pre-warrant letters. And if we don't have a roundup, well, people are still scared because Lineberger is after them too. So they're coming in with their money, big fines like $600, $800, $1,300, So the letters are helping us out too because we're not having a roundup yet, but we're supposed to have another one in September. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Moving on to item D, our report on Freedom Fest and the TNB event. Mr. Bettis is here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Over Freedom Fest first, should be in those packets. I also put the TNB for the boxing event by your side way or back. So I put together an expense report sheet at the beginning of what we paid out for entertainment, printing, advertising, our security, bartenders, all our staff, decorations, carnival and attractions that we had this year. You flip to the back, it has the fireworks as well that we do every year. We actually went with a different company this year and saved $1,500. We had construction rental for our fencing, and then of course our beer, sodas, everything that we spent for that event. On the bottom of that, after we have the total there, we have the bottom is the revenue. What we made for Friday and Saturday, broke it down, is what we brought in. In the back, we had a softball tournament. I put there what we brought in for that as well, for the entry fees. For our beer, soda setups, everything, I broke it down again for Saturday and Friday for both days. And then also we had the bar open up in the back for the softball tournament. And then at the end, we have all the sponsors that came in this year and helped out with the event.
Do we have access to like what was deposited, where it was deposited to, does 4A get a full financial statement?
Yes, 4A gets a full report of where all the money gets deposited and what we took out from our 4A, from our 4th of July event.
Any questions for Mr. Pettis by the council?
I just have a comment. Just for myself, for future reference, I'd like to see it broken down a little more. You do have, bartenders, ticket window, and an amount. I don't know how many bartenders that covers. Also, your sponsorships. I think it's fantastic that you got sponsorships, but I would also like to know who sponsored what. So, I think previously EDC had sponsored fireworks. Did they sponsor that again?
Yeah, I can break it down and give more detail and insight as well, just so you know what we paid out for everything else.
I have a comment for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that we were in the hole again, and if we could be in the positive, black instead of the negative.
Yes, definitely. Me and the 4A board have met several times after the event. We are looking to make some changes for next year to try to keep the costs down on what we're spending, and then try to be in the black or not at least break even to make it a successful event for next year.
I have a suggestion, Mr. Chairman. I would like to have us with the 4A, the council of the 4A, like on a Saturday from.
Well, actually, you can set something up. That is your next meeting for 4A and 4B. We'll be at your next budget meeting on Tuesday. And then if you'd like to set up another workshop on a Saturday, you can discuss it with that board at that time. There'll either be the full board or a representative of that. So that's the next thing on your agenda for 4A and 4B.
Thank you.
How many attendees did you have for both days?
For both days, it was right around a little over 1,000 that we had, the tickets we gave for sponsorship and people that paid to come in and other stuff. So it was down this year, it really was. The attendance was down. That's what we had a few meetings to see what we can do about possibly making a one-day event and going from there, just making something for the community, small and nice, that they can still come out and make it affordable for us too as well, make some money.
One more question, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Talking about the bands, what happened to the best band that he backed up?
It was with the promoter, so we paid a promoter this year to bring in the entertainment. We gave him an amount. It wasn't on his contract to bring that band, but he did advise us this band was coming and he had a conflict. He told us something about their green cards. They couldn't come into the state, but I think they were just double booked.
Well, what I honestly think is that that promoter lied to the citizens of Floresville, because that is an outstanding band, and that is the main one.
Yeah, so we did reach out to him. Right now, he's working out something. He wants to meet with the board to make it up to the city of Floresville. So he wants to try, because he works with us, where he's their manager. He works with them on their Friday dates, so he's looking to bring something back at no cost for the city.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes. It was told that Dave says that supposedly he's gonna make it up and bring that band to play at some time or another. Has he said anything to you about making it up?
Yes, he has. We're looking for a Friday because that's the best time for the band to come out for what he's going to be able to do. So right now we're working on dates, what's going to fit our schedule, because a lot of the dates we're booked from here to December, the end of the year. So right now we're working on a date. If we can squeeze it in this year, it'd be good for us to have make it free for Floresville or something like that, where we can give back to the people that actually came out to see that band. They weren't able to see them.
Because we couldn't have gotten a refund at all.
Yeah, we couldn't get a refund. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilman.
I think I think it would be a good idea for you to get with the boards and set certain days aside for big events. You know, because we're not making it on quinceañeras and weddings and stuff. You know, if we could say we're gonna get 8 big events per year, save that date, go utilize that date, you know, for big events.
Yes,
That way we
definitely.
could start doing something.
No, we agree. The last meeting we had a workshop, we discussed the exact same thing, especially with Mr. Malone is coming in and doing these big boxing events. We have other promoters, like a MMA promoter, to do some UFC fighting in there, and some other entertainment like that. So we want to block off certain, maybe one Saturday out of every 2 months or quarterly, so we can have it for these people to get those dates, because you're right, I mean, the weddings are just not pushing the numbers, and numbers in concession sales as well.
Well, we definitely need to work on the concessions and make sure that everything's accountable. Maybe go to tickets instead of just handling money, you know, because for some reason other things aren't coming out right.
Yeah, definitely, we can, like I said, we're meeting with the sales reps as well for the beer, to make it easier for our staff and everybody else to be able to be transparent as we can.
I think this would also fall in the lines of meeting with the council and the 4A and 4B boards to go, because right now we're just dealing with the 2 items on the agenda, which was the Freedom Fest and the TMB. Any other comments about Freedom Fest from Mr. Pettis?
I have a question. Who is next level of the court?
They're staffing, they're from out of San Antonio, they're based out of San Antonio. They're a staffing company, they're one of the mid-level staffing companies that we deal with. They do decoration and serving and everything else like that, because some of them won't come in at higher bid, and some are too low, so we try to find somebody we can have a working relationship with.
And we couldn't have gotten someone local?
For decorating, yes, we are going to put out bids for decorating this next year. We know we've used some local decorators, and we just wanted to do something different this past year.
Okay, just curious.
Any other questions or comments? If not, moving on to the TMB Entertainment Boxing event.
For the boxing event, what I did was, because our part that we took in this was, of course, the bar and concession sales. I put on there the estimated attendance that we had, so 2,500 people. That's what Ricky gave us, the number that he had at the door. So I had 4 bars open, I had 3 bars open and 1 VIP service. So everything we did was cash, and everything was done with our receipt dates, because we got to give it to the auditors. This is what we came out with, bar 1, 2, 3, and then our VIP service.
But that's not paying out the expenses yet, right?
No, that's not taken out. So right now we're working on our what we paid for our beer sales, because a lot of the beer that we had is from Freedom Fest as well. So we didn't pay, so we got to take the dollar for dollar out for the beer of what we spent on what we paid for it.
When will you have those ones?
I can have them for y'all the next meeting if y'all like.
Or maybe when we have that.
The budget workshop. We'll be at the workshop, I can have it there too as well. I can break it down to what we actually made after our staff and our beer, what we spent.
Any other questions from Mr. Pettis on the boxing event? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, that was a great event, and hopefully we get some more.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 3, the USDA grant for our police department vehicles. We have our Detective Rodriguez here. And I know I received a letter from the USDA congratulating on receiving the grant. Detective?
Good job.
Thank you. Good evening, Council. So I want to give you an update on the numbers for the vehicle grant proposed last month. And the project was estimated for $125,900. We ended up receiving more than what the grant anticipated match was of $50,000. We ended up receiving $69,000, which reduces the city's contribution to $56,902. That's for 3 vehicles.
Great.
Can you tell them the year of the deal for the record? Can you tell them what year it would be, officer?
Yes, ma'am. So we're gonna wait till 2020. Oh, sorry. Well, 2020's come out in September. So they arrive, I believe, September. That's when we're receiving.
And the effective, my understanding is they're going to be 2020s fully equipped.
That's right.
Correct.
Yes.
And if I could, Mayor and City Council, because we just awarded this, we have to do a budget amendment. And so some of it's going to come out of the police forfeiture, and the other parts will be coming out of what we just had for the sale of miscellaneous fees. We're going to have that, so you have a budget amendment for you at the next council meeting. But the mayor did receive a letter that officially said that we have been approved, and they strongly encourage us to reapply again in January.
Great job.
Thank you.
Who initiated this grant? Who was the one that thought?
Where did it come from? So we have a representative from Congressman Guerra's office that we're in constant contact with. Gilbert,
Is that a point?
that's right, yeah. So he contacted me, he knows I've been grants for the PD all the time. And he said to contact another person who helped another city out. So that's what we did, Ms. Betty Soto. And I believe Ms. Tran was already in contact with her. So we ended up just comparing notes and working all together. And that's how it kind of streamlined the process. And we ended up receiving more than the 50,000 because they already had good continuity.
Thank you and the team. Thank you.
So much for the time.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4A, consideration action to approve resolution 2019-015, the National Incident-Based Reporting System. We have our chief of police.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Good evening. The reason I'm here is to get your approval on a resolution which involves a reporting system which we call NIBRS, which is National Incident-Based Reporting System, which recently replaced UCR, Uniform Crime Report. This software that we use is to report all our criminal activity that goes through the city, throughout the city. NIBRS is now being reported to the state of Texas, and UCR used to be reported to the FBI. We got NIBRS through a $7,500 state grant, 100% funded by them through CalSync. And by us complying with their reporting system allows us to further apply for any other grants through the state. So we're in compliance, thank God, and now I need y'all's approval.
Any questions for the chief by council? No. Nope. Any citizens' comments pertaining to this? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the resolution 2019-015, National Incident-Based Reporting System.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 4B, consideration and action to approve an agreement between the city of Floresville and Wilson County to allow the county to perform fire inspections of daycares, nursing homes, foster care homes, and state licensed facilities in the city. And the county would retain 80% of the fee, and the city would retain 20%.
Yes, Mayor and Council. This is similar to our health inspections. It is required for daycares, nursing homes, and these other facilities to have an annual inspection. I know previously the city of Floresville had a fire marshal on staff. We have not had one in over a decade. But there was a gentleman that was doing it by himself. He was already certified as a fire marshal, and he was doing it as a consultant. So when someone would contact us, we refer them to him, and then he would contact and do an inspection. However, in this case, he has retired, and we need to be able to provide the nursing homes, daycares, with this type of inspection. And so the county has agreed, and they have voted to say that they are in agreement to do this, to provide the service to the city. We would take the money collected and to pay them, and we will maintain 20%, and they will receive 80% because it is their staff.
Any questions?
I have a question, Madam.
Yes, Councilman.
Does the county charge the same rates to other cities as they do to the city of Floresville?
They don't have an agreement with anyone else. They do one in Poth, and they don't charge Poth, and they charge for the inspection. And they do one in Stockdale. Their fire chief in Stockdale does their one in Stockdale, so it's not necessarily a county employee.
Okay. Lorenzo's not a fire chief?
He is a fire chief, but he's not certified with the state as a fire marshal. You have to have a fire marshal.
Any other questions by the council? Any citizens' comments? If no other questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion.
A motion on the floor by Councilman Jimenez to approve an agreement between the city of Floresville and Wilson County. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 4C, consideration action to approve resolution 2019-016 of the city of Floresville declaring its support for the proposed 2019 Transportation Alternative Safe Routes to School project located on the Floresville Hike and Bike Trail.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, we had a public hearing earlier today. I referenced the application. Just as a reminder, you have put together a committee to talk about the hike and bike trail. We've been trying to clean it up and trying to get some funding to be able to do that. And this is a resolution to submit the application. I'll have the final numbers for you by probably Tuesday. When we have our next meeting, I can share with you, but we need to go forward if you care to apply for this funding. The application is due on the 15th of August.
I move to approve this.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any citizens' comments pertaining to this? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item 4D, consideration action to extend the Floresville Little League agreement for the fall ball.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, I was approached, my office was approached from the Little League to have a fall ball. I don't think they've had fall ball in some time. They, of course, we need to be under contract. My recommendation was to extend the existing contract. We can negotiate the next contract for next year, but to extend the existing contract. There's an email in there, and I believe there's representatives here, but what they proposed to me is that based on some Saturdays, we can be able to accommodate them, but they're asking for $10 a head, and I think their last count was somewhere around $1,000 is what they're offering to play.
I know we have representatives here. Do y'all have any comments for us this evening?
How y'all doing, Council Protector? I just want to give praise to the All-Star season this year. Let y'all know it worked out real well. Y'all did a very good job getting the fields squared away, the fence done before time. We had a lot of compliments from other cities that came into town. So we had the Broncos, Canyon, a bunch of other people said they would love to come back. So it was a good deal. I just want to give praise. I know every time I come in here, it seems like I'm upset and kind of mad about everything, but it worked out pretty well. The two guys y'all got working out there right now are doing a very good job. I will say they were out there working their butts off and doing everything that needed to be done. So I just want to make sure that let y'all know everything during All-Stars went very well. If we keep that during the season, I don't think you have any complaints at all. So just a few little things need to be worked out. Fall ball, I've been on this board 6 years now. We haven't had a fall ball season yet. We have kids signed up. We just usually don't have enough kids all around. We have a couple kids signed in this division, a couple in this division, not enough to make a team. I'm proud to say we have about 150 kids signed up right now. So we do have several teams that could form. So it's the first time in a long time that we've had this many kids sign up for fall ball. We've always tried, but never could get the kids to come out. So it's a good deal. I'm really proud of it. I'm not doing a lot of fall ball. Joe Heath, the one that contacted us, Turner's the one that's kind of heading it up. And so I really don't know too much particulars of all what's been talked about for this contract. But Austin Schaefer was here that will be able to do that. But I just wanted to say thank you for the way the All-Star season went.
Thanks for the praise.
Thank you. Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I need to ask, are y'all going to be playing at night or the fall? I mean, are y'all going to be using a lot of lights?
So that's one thing I have found out. Most of those games are played in the mornings on Saturdays. They can be played all day, like For Floresville, it wouldn't be, because we probably have 2 or 3 teams in each division, so they probably played at 10 and 12 or 9 and 11 to get them out of there, especially during that time of the year. But when they go to Seguin and other places, I thought they were all during the week, but come to find out they're all on Saturdays, man, the games. Now, we have the option to move them during the week with closer towns and stuff like that for our practice nights or whatever else, play a game there, but most of them are in the mornings on Saturdays, from what I found out. So other towns have bigger kids play. Seguin and Ruffles were 2 of them, so some of their games are like 5 o'clock in the evening.
All right, thank you.
My name is Austin Schaefer. I'm with the Little League. We proposed $10 per student to play, and then I believe the city manager counteroffered with a $1,000 flat rate, and then y'all would chalk the fields and do all the other maintenance we did during the spring ball. That's where we're at, is either the $1,000 up front or the $10 per child. Enrollment does close on August 10th, so we're not sure our final numbers as of right now. We also have not collected any registration fees because we're not sure what the agreement is going to be, so we don't want to collect money and then have to refund it later. So we could have some kids that end up dropping out. That's kind of why we agreed on 1,000 as a flat rate to kind of keep our costs down.
And y'all would do the shopping and all that?
No, that's 1,000, and y'all would do the chalking and other maintenance.
No, doesn't.
That's what Joe Heath sent to me. I can show you it's right here.
What I was proposing was, because it's only $1,000 and he didn't know how many kids were gonna lock up, that if we did 1,000, that we would actually begin, that they would do the chalking, not necessarily staff, because I'm trying to cut that, because it's only $1,000, and I think you need to use the fields until November.
I'm not sure. Troy would be able to provide length of season. November.
I think that's what it says in your email, to
Yeah, that's
November.
what I read, that y'all would do
It
that.
said to November.
Beginning of November.
We would not include the chalk. I mean, we have the equipment to be there, but for us to chalk in between games, having separate games on different things on the weekend, that's not what I was proposing.
I have a question, who would be paying the overtime and all that?
Well, we actually do a flex time with our staff that's there, so if they have to be there on Saturday morning, then they don't work like Monday morning, they do their schedule so they cannot do the overtime. And I do have to commend Jerry, he's doing a great job. What's the last name? Jerry.
Yes.
Jerry who? What's his last name?
Garcia.
Piscina with a P.
Ms. Turner, can you clarify again? So
So
Little League was prepared to offer $10 a student and they would chalk. But you're countering with 1,000?
No, they were saying $10 a head and the city would chalk. And I counted with $1,000 and they chalk. Because they said that they had to close registration. They didn't collect any funds as of yet. So they think that sometimes people sign up for things and when it comes down to pay the money, they may not be able to get that. And so they weren't quite sure. But they were also waiting until they saw how many people have fall ball. So originally it was nothing on the weekends, is what Joe told me, but then they did come back and said they may have to have some Saturday games. And so I said we'll be willing to accommodate them on the Saturday, but it's hard for me to get somebody out there on Saturday when we're not having something to chalk. So $1,000 to extend the existing contract. Now let me change going forward as we look at the next contract, but just to extend what we have now, $1,000 and that they chalk the fields. We'll have them prep for the first game, but they chalk in between.
So we are looking at approving one or the other tonight.
To approve to extend the contract and what those terms are, and then we can have the attorney to put it in writing as an extension to them.
And if I may, Ms. Turner, it does indicate, the email that I read says Monday through Thursday.
Yes,
And if
they want weekends.
They like the
weekends
weekend.
scheduled. Yes.
However, if something else is already scheduled during the weekend and it's going to be cash higher amount,
Yes.
then they will forego the weekend.
Yes.
Correct.
I'll make a
That's what I
motion to
read.
approve it.
But what are we doing? Hold on.
No.
So Mr. Schaefer,
Council, hold on.
Mr. Schaefer, you confirmed with Mr. Heath that
It would be-
1,000
It would be
and
1,000 and the city doesn't chalk the fields, or $10 and y'all do.
you guys chalk.
Right.
So how many kids do y'all have, 150 right now?
Give or take, it's about 100, it's right around 150 right now. And again, some may drop out whenever it comes time to actually collect the registration fees from them. So, and we can't force them to pay to play, so.
And I have another question.
Yes.
And so, Ms. Turner, what is the issue? Is there an issue with them chalking the field and not having our employees do it?
There's not really much of an issue, it's just we have to buy the equipment, we use ours or buy the chalk.
They would be able to, we'll provide the chalk, we have the equipment, the chalk is just, I don't want to necessarily pay the manpower because they're charging $10 a head for the season, and I paid this gentleman more than $10 an hour to be out there to chalk. And since their amount was just $1,000 and this was new, it's a trial for them, a trial for us. So we're just looking to do that for them, and then we can accommodate them on the weekends. So that's why I just asked whether to go through a whole contract negotiation again, that we can just extend this contract on the time, additional fee of $1,000, and that we can, once they give us a schedule, because it is coming, that we can be able to accommodate them and let them know.
And then also, they would do the shopping.
And that they would do the chalking. We provide the chalk and the equipment is all there.
How expensive is that chalk?
Oh, please answer me about that. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, because
Does anybody know?
we're giving it free, I mean, you know.
Well, we have to maintain chalk on the field, and
What's a bag of chalk?
So to accommodate, then we have to have that chalk in.
It's the lime, right? That lime?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it's about $7 a bag, 50 pounds.
Ms. Turner, is that restroom still on the other, are we still paying the $800 for that peewee? Remember we had,
the porta potties, they're gone. We're no longer paying them. That would be football, not,
Yeah, we don't use those.
they don't use those fields. No,
No, we haven't
they're not
used
using those fields. That's football and those types of things. And football should be coming before you soon.
so y'all are not gonna be using electricity with the lights, right? That's what,
those. As of right now, no, we're not.
No, they're not anticipating any night games at all.
okay.
Listen, that way they have scheduled to us, usually the children play before it gets dark, because I think it doesn't get dark till like almost 8 o'clock, and that'd be too late for these children to play.
I think $1,000 with them chalking and not using the lights, and, you know, we'll figure out if that would be good.
I think that's reasonable to extend the contract, and hopefully when we start the negotiations for next year, we can include the fall ball as an option in case they see this going to be successful.
Well, I think we need the lights during the week for practices.
We can provide the lights for the week, and we have a amount to do
Not
that.
on
It's
weekends.
not all weekends, but when it gets dark enough.
I'll make that motion.
Field chalk's $12 a bag.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Jimenez.
Yes, for the 1,000 and pay chalk.
A second.
Okay, I have a second by Mrs. Martinez. If that's okay. Any citizens' comments?
Mayor, thanks for the opportunity to come up before you. It's hard for me to hear some of the things that are being said by council members and for the people. I'm hard of hearing, so it's hard for me to pick up exactly what's going on. The Little League that he's proposing, and it's for the children, and the participation is up to 150 kids, that says it all. And if it's for the children or the kids that want to play ball, and for the parents to develop those children to be good, fine human beings when they get older, I think it's a good thing. And for the sacrifice that he's doing, his time and his effort to put it into those children, I think it's a good, admirable thing to do. So I think everything aside, with the lights and all this other little minuscule issues compared to the little thing that he's asking for. So I just wanted to make that, bring that to the forefront to the council. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've approved it, so it's okay.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of extending the Floresville Little League agreement for fall ball to $1,000 flat fee with them chalking. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 5A.
Mayor, if we just talk for a while, and then the attorney will prepare something for you to sign based on that vote to amend that contract, and we'll give a copy to the Little League. Okay.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session on item 5A pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, our consultation with our attorney. Am I correct, Mrs. Rodriguez?
This one is actually number 51.074, dealing with personnel matters.
Okay.
That's,
But the-
Item
that's
item
fine.
5B, pursuant to
Yes,
section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code on Personnel Matters.
I have a comment, Madam Mayor. I think we should do it in the public and the reason is because we abolish the controller's office. And I believe we should do it in the public. That's my thought.
I'll second the motion to go into executive session. Make a motion.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? Thank you.
Can you say the time, Mayor? Mayor, can you say the time?
At 7:18.